Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And the purple progenitor, Violet, Ultima, as I am to understand is her second name. She is dropped in the game because apparently she is in the movie. I know, according to my Discord and many other people, that this skips quite a bit ahead of putting her in the game because I guess now she has a voice because she's in the movie, but she's nowhere near being, ready to be introduced in the anime. But whatever. She's here, so let's take a look and determine if she is worth spending your crystals on. So, first off, stats are pretty good. She is obviously attack growth, being, we know, based on the teaser from this morning's video, that she would be the DPS based on her having a personal attack buff and having that extra 5 to 10% ult buff. So she is the DPS of the Fire 2.0 team. Her skills, single target fire physical, 475, so there's the 5% extra damage right there. And then when you get her up to 6 stars, she does 480%, which is pretty good. The new Anniversary Milim does 480% damage, and she can hit pretty hard. So her first skill is what we did not know what it was going to be, and now we do. And at first I was pretty confused about it. Alright, it's a 15-point skill at level 10, and it gives her guaranteed crits and guaranteed pierce. So when you combine that with her relatively good stats, a boosted ult, and her own personal attack buff from her second skill, and this allows her to hit very, very hard. Because if you combine that, just like not even taking the ult into account, but just taking her normal attacks that are 20% attack, guaranteed crit, guaranteed pierce, you've got the burn going, you have a whole bunch of resistance lowering from the other skills, you have then the hero boost that boosts oranges by 50%, and you can actually do quite a happy bit of damage with her normals. As you'll see in my showcase for her, which will come out tomorrow-ish. Yeah, tomorrow-ish. So, based off this, I was very confused when she dropped, obviously, because I was like, Pierce and crit, what? It actually does kind of work. Her second skill is another 20% burn at level 10, so this obviously is very stackable, and I just got done with my stream, and I think we stacked up to like 114% burn, using a Dark Veldora Protector to reset skill cost, and I think we did like 110k burn, which is really good, and I didn't even have her ult boosted, so that's funny. But 20% burn, good. That stacks with Benimaru's 20%, that stacks with Heroes 20% when you get that leveled up. And then her own attack buff by 20% for 2 turns. So this right here, this lasts for 3 turns. That is not insignificant, because you can put these up like the turn 2, have a whole hand of oranges, have them be boosted, and then that'll get her ult, and then that's turn 2 of her having that. And then you can put the burn on, which will last for 2 turns, so that turn and another turn. And then you're looking at really good damage, to be perfectly honest. Her Valor trait is the same as the new Fire Benny, where she nerfs oranges if you send 2 orbs. So, I mean, a lot of people use Hakuro in Valor Cup. A lot of people also use defensive protectors in Valor Cup that don't really do oranges. Because there aren't really a lot of orange orb changers by themselves, except for Hakuro and Toa, which kind of holds it back. So I don't find this trait for Valor to be particularly useful most of the time, but it can work if they happen to get a happy natural hand of oranges, I guess. But her actual trait is very good. So 3 more battle characters. Every 2 turns you increase your protection gauge by 3 up to 5 points. This is the same trait as Water Shion and Light Rimuru, and it's really good. Light Rimuru is the first 3 turns. This is every 2 turns. So this is like, Water Shion, where just every 2 turns you get extra protection gauge. It's just a happy thing. It is a better trait than what I would say like Space Rimuru and Wind Milim and all those that get protection every 3 turns, because obviously you can have those units on on your team. Like, Fire Guy has that trait. Every 3 turns you get protection gauge. So that combined with 2 turns, and you're pretty much almost always going to have a unit that is giving you protection trait. So it's actually pretty good, and it makes the team work because Benimaru is giving skill points, she's giving protection trait. It works out. Her secret skill enhancement, again, is that extra 5%, which buffs her ult damage up to 480 at level 100. And then her EX ability release, she gets extra pierce power, which makes sense for her because she's giving herself pierce rate. And then she is a self-buffing unit from the EX board. So she is a very, very cheap DPS, because both of these are 15-point skills, right? And, you know, you can use them a few times before their cost starts to get out of hand. And they last for quite a while. Like, the burns, 3 turns. These buffs are for 3 turns. Her attack buff is for 2 turns. You can do a lot with those 3 turns, especially with Toa, who is, you know, giving you extra skill points on oranges, who is, you know, pretty much guaranteeing you get someone's ult, right? Because you're gonna have like 4 and 2 and 1, or 4 and 1, 1 and 4, 2, or some kind of combination of orbs that's gonna guarantee you to get someone's ult. And then you have Hero, who's gonna change at least 3 of those to her, because she's gonna have the highest attack stat because of this attack buff. And I actually think she works pretty well. I used her quite a bit in my stream, and, you know, at first I was kind of skeptical. I was like, that's kind of low. This is kind of weird. This pierce rate for herself would be a lot better if it was pierce rate for the team, because Benimaru's EX board is also pierce power, but no one's giving him pierce on this fire team. And at this rate, it looks like he's not going to get it just in general, unless you intentionally bring a pierce unit, which I wouldn't, because none of them are fire, so you're not stacking the burn. She, on the other hand, can do a lot. She can do a lot in a very low cost setting for a good amount of turns. So if I were to caution you and be like, should you summon on the Toa / Benimaru banner, or should you summon on Violet? It's going to depend on your box, right? Because maybe you don't have any fire units and you're really not going to stack the burn that well. Then I would probably just summon on this banner, because Toa, as a protector, as a general use unit, is very, very, very strong. But if you at least have Hakuro and you have Benimaru, you didn't have Toa because you didn't go to 300 pity, I might actually tell you to put a few summons towards Violet. Because we know that her being the DPS, the next unit, the 3rd unit, who will probably come on the 12th, will most likely be another support unit for fire. So if you're missing damage from the fire team, she is going to be your girl. And if you at least have Hakuro Protector, who is doing essentially the same thing that Toa is, then you can pretty much run a very good team, because you can have other units at orb change. Hero gives you burn, so at least you can have 40% burn. You're missing Hero or Benimaru's, but that's fine. I think that she can be a pretty good asset. During my testing, I think I beat the EX2 Tempered Edge stage in 6 turns, first try with her. And we know how much I struggled the first time with that stage. So she is definitely helpful. So I definitely see her capabilities as a DPS unit alongside the rest of the fire team, which is still not totally out yet. But, I mean, I think she's pretty good. So maybe throw a few summons at her, see if you get lucky. If you have any leftover monthly pass Koban coins, you can pick up at least 1 multi for her, maybe 3 at maximum, and throw those. I saw a couple people in my Discord get lucky on those Koban coin banners, tickets, because they bought 3 of them and got her on like the 3rd. I think she's pretty good. And then, you know, you can give her some shards to level her up to get that trait, and you'll just be running a little bit more efficiently. So I think she's pretty worth it as the DPS for the fire team, because up until this point we haven't really had a good one. So it really needed it, and I'm fairly happy with her output. But that's my thoughts on her. Anyone who has pulled her and has used her for any amount of time, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.